Welcome to Mediocre Gaming, and today we're playing God of War Ragnarok. Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm Zarel. Let's get to it. Alright, so today we are leaving Alfheim, but before we get to that, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, and ring that bell to be notified of all future episodes as soon as they go live. So let's get into it. So previously, we came to Alfheim to get to Groa's secret. There was a special mural at the top of the temple in Alfheim, and we took Tyr volunteered to come with us. And it helped out because he was able to get us progress much more quickly than we would have otherwise. So now we're on the way out. We've caused a bit of a stir. We've taken out a lot of light elves and hadn't seen a single dark elf, and now we see the dark elves, and nobody in Alfheim is happy to see us. We defeated a whole bunch of dark elves the last game in God of War, and the light elves didn't seem to be happy to see us when we came through. If they hadn't impeded our progress, they could have stayed in control, as they are, at least they were in control when we first came to Alfheim, or the second time, I should say, that we came to Alfheim. First time in God of War Ragnarok. So, I mean, geez, you need a whole History Channel documentary on what's been going on in Alfheim. So the Dark Elves are more bug-like, I would say, more hive mind bug-like, etc. The Light Elves are more clandestine, secret society, Illuminati-looking guys. And they originally were one species. There were no light elves or dark elves. It was just elves of Alfheim. And then there was a split based almost entirely on viewpoint. Dark elves wanted to be the hippies that kept the environment. They said that everything should be part of that big circle of life. And the Light Elves said, hey, we want to exploit the natural resources of Alfheim because that will give us more power. So, having been here previously has given Atreus a bit of a complex, I would say, or a moral dilemma, saying, did we do the right thing the first time? Are we doing the right thing now? And it is, a journey that I think we can help him with, but I think ultimately he has to decide what is there a right course of action? Is there a way that we can do so or do something to benefit the realm in general? What are we doing? Will it benefit just us, solely us? Will it benefit anyone else in addition to us? Alright, so knowing that the Twilight Stones bounce and cause huge amounts of stun damage, if you can bounce it off and hit one of the enemies, it's only going to make your fight that much shorter. So, of course, we're trying to climb back up and out, get out of here, while at the same time being aware that, if there's any treasure, Hacksilver, is there Hacksilver or health gems or rage gems or pieces of armor, weapon attachments, etc. Anything that'll help us in our ultimate journey, we're going to grab. All right, so light elves are after us as well. You know, with all the quote good that we've done, either time, nobody's really happy. We've opened up the temple for the Dark Elves now. Originally, we took the Dark Elves out of the temple, and nobody wants us around. You know, which is fine. We mostly got what we wanted here, so... Or I should say, we at least got an answer to our question. There we go. Stun damage. And I'm still wearing the armor that gives you extra health on a kill, and stun finishers give you a health burst. So one thing I don't really have to worry about too much anyway is health. If I'm playing too fast and loose, then it'll be an issue, but right now I've got an extra 15%. Oof. Climb your way out and you get knocked down. I get an extra 15% health from every source, including the health burst. But I don't have the second piece that'll give me 30%, which would be a huge increase in the amount of health that I gain from any and all sources. Alright, so I got knocked around a little bit too much, and now I'm using my rage attacks. There we go. And now cancel the rage. You get a penalty for canceling it. But there was a drop, so we got a decent amount back. They were fighting each other, and now the victor turns to me and says, "Hey, I know you." Alright, separated from the party, Kratos needs to climb out. And hopefully not get attacked on the way. Alright, we're getting close. Getting close to the top, which should be about where we came in. So then we should be able to get out. Oh, and there it is. How about that? Tears had quite enough adventure for even his long lifetime. He reneged on his whole anti-violence crusade. Yep. So his pacifist ways came to the ultimate test and failed. So he's upset probably more with himself than anything. All right, so grow a secret. The path, the main path is done. To pick up the path again, just go back to Sindri. Before we do that, though, we're going to see what's out in the Barrens. First of all, we got that treasure map. So we can go and look at the treasure map, and it'll give us a clue. What we're looking for, a location, and then continuing on, maybe we'll find something else out here. There's plenty of hack silver and stuff. Ah, this looks familiar. Hive matter. That, of course, was in the first God of War. It was a little bit of a action puzzle trying to figure out how to hit all the nodes more or less simultaneously. Alright, so we'll climb up this wall now that it's cleared out. They brought that back, which is nice. Certainly Alfheim continues to have dark elves, so you would think that that's not a problem, issue, whatever. Alright, another raven down. keep going, and eventually we'll get rid of all of them. We can only hope. All right, so now we have another gateway. So we could have used the other gateway. There's another one right here. So there's plenty of mystic gateways that we can use. You can hear it over this storm. Unfortunately, Sindri and the elves, they don't get along so well. All right. But that starts the favor or side quest, Secret of the Sands, which is as soon as you get in to Alfheim, Atreus was like, "Hey, do you hear that? Some large creature." And the first thing you see a bunch of sand dunes, and then there's a large creature. The first thing that comes to mind is a sandworm, although it's not. Doesn't necessarily jive with the lore mythology of Alfheim. Now we have these Gulan, which are kind of like purple wolf / lion hybrids kind of creatures, and they're pulling a sled. So we get some more sled action other than just at the beginning of the game, which is great. Because it's just kind of fun, I would say. Plus, it's a good way to get around large areas. If you have a large open area or a long track that you need to go, certainly going on foot is one option, but if you have some way to get around faster, that's better. All right, so this looks familiar. If you looked at the treasure map, unless there's a doppelganger location, this looks a lot like. So if we go in here, we should find the treasure that was referenced from the treasure map. This must be it here. There we go. Treasure map complete. Vulture's Gold. So I guess this giant creature used to be a vulture? Maybe? Alright, so we're going to keep going on into the belly of the beast as it is. And we see some enemies here. We know it's going to be a fight. There's no stealth kills on God of War. You face them head on to your detriment or otherwise. That was a good parry. Take these guys out. Certainly the giant skeleton is not what was causing Atreus's ears to perk up. Now, as you gain experience for both Kratos and Atreus, you can get more perks, and the perks for Atreus make him more useful, not only when he's off by himself, which we've already experienced, but also when he's in fights with Kratos, because now he can distract enemies and he can do more damage. Not to mention, depending on what perks you have and what weapons, you can cause more damage or cause more stun damage. Obviously, with the current setup that I have with Kratos' armor, I would prefer that he did as much stun damage as possible, so then I can come in and finish him off and get that health burst with the extra health. So the armor may not be the best in terms of, extra high stats, etc., but it's useful. So I would say find armor that suits you. So if you like getting the health back and not having to worry about searching around for health gems, then maybe the Raven armor and the whatever The one in Svartalheim, chest armor, is the way to go. If you only care about stats, then you're going to want something that has higher stat contributions, or maybe something that will, like Belt of Radiance, the Radiance armor, which 2 of them you do a last minute evade, and then time slows down, but only for a second. Second and 3/4 if you have 2 of the armor pieces. So not very long, but everything kind of slows down for a second. So if nothing else, you could get your bearings. All right, moving on. All right, so here is where we're going, kind of. So whatever the creature is inside, we can't get to it directly. We'll have to find a cave to spelunk to get to it. But it seems to be that is what is causing the storm. All right, so now there's another raven. Take those ravens out so that you can get more chests open in Niflheim. Guy walking around. He looks like he's by himself, but as soon as you start attacking him, dollars to donuts, there's going to be more. And there are. Alright, so we have to take these guys out. You got to watch out for summoners. They're a little higher tier enemies, light elves and dark elves. There we go. Because the summoners can call in reinforcements, so we don't want that. Yeah, even with Atreus, he's not taking a whole lot of stun damage. And he is a slippery little sucker. He's almost... Well, I ran out of rage. There we go. Now he's stunned. Finally. Body slam. Ooh, Dark Elf Lord. No wonder why he was causing us problems. Alright, a whole bunch of stuff to pick up here in this little alcove. Diagram for a sword hilt. Show it to the dwarves and they'll tell us what they can do with it. And there's another radiance piece. And then over here, yeah, I always forget about these rocks. That probably would have made the fight a little bit easier. Tributes to Freyr, which started in Alfheim, and we picked one up pretty close to the beginning, and now we've got 2 out of the 6. Alright, I think that's it for this section, or this part of the desert. Let's keep on moving. Here's another one. There's some debris that we'll have to clear. Just have to figure out where. Here we go. There we go, explosion pot. But there's also hive matter that we have to take care of. In order to take care of that, we'll probably have to go back around. So we'll go ahead and move around the island and see if that gives us the right angle to take care of it. Alright, we just need to line it up so that we can get all those nodes at once. Looks like this is a good shot right here. Only one way to find out. There we go. Now that opened up a little path here. and open up the path to ultimately this red chest. So there we go. Materials. Not going to say no to that. That's probably it for here. Gonna keep on moving. Ultimately, we want to find a cave, and this looks like it might be it. Yeah. So this is the cave. Most likely the way to get down into the depths, or at least underneath the storm. So visibility should go up. Yeah, what is this place? Refuge for the Dark Elves. So we're likely to see more hive material as we go along in the below, as it's called. So we have kind of this valley feeling. There's still some storm matter going through, but as we go along and get deeper into the region, I think it'll probably dissipate. Possibly. Alright, speaking of Dark Elves, that was a good parry. And stun. There we go, look at that. Lined right up. Yeah, if you see a Twilight Stone, you can almost guarantee that you're going to need to use it. Either for stunning your enemies or maybe for doing something else. Don't forget to use your runic attacks if you have them slotted. So your light runic attacks, heavy runic attacks, and then your runic ability, I think they call it. One early on gives you extra melee power. The one I just used gave a rage boost. So don't forget to use those things. They'll benefit you or behoove you to use it. Alright, so there's a whole bunch of Twilight Stones, but I think it's just for the battles. I don't always like to rely on the Twilight Stones for the battles. Plus sometimes it's easier not to use it. Alright. So we got a encounter with more Dark Elves. Probably won't see any Light Elves down here. Or I'm not expecting any Light Elves down here. We had our Light Elf encounters at the temple and around the temple. Now it's the bastion of Dark Elves, so to speak. So let's take care of these Dark Elves and then move along. Because we're not actually here for the Dark Elves, as it was the case with the Light Elves. We were actually here for another reason. So perhaps, and I say that optimistically, that maybe we can do things without taking out all the Dark Elves in the realm. The war continues at this point between the Dark Elves and the Light Elves. Dark Elves want to have free access to all parts of the realm, and the Light Elves want to get rid of the Dark Elves and, exploit all the natural resources. Alright, so we need to take care of that hive matter over there, see what it's covering up. So we'll go climb up the wall here and see what's going on. So that probably helps us move along the path or side quest. Here we go. This looks like this lines up pretty well. See if we're right. There we go. So a red chest and a rune marking. So or rune reed, whatever you want to call it, and then a red chest. So more materials, more experience. It's only going to help you out. So not a bad thing to have. Alright, so I'll go down here. And as we're going, we see another chest. Now this is interesting. Atreus says, I don't always hear what they're saying, just kind of what they're feeling, and it's emotion or what it's feeling, and it's pain. So since Atreus is the only one that can hear the animal, understand the animal, I'd be curious as well. Alright, there's hive stuff over there. We'll have to take care of it once we get to a point where we can take care of it. I'm sure we'll need a right angle or whatever. Oop. Enemies, swarmers, exploders. There we go. Took care of those guys. Oop, and there's more. And they're gonna blow up. And a nightmare. And Atreus can't hit him. Alright, so there's a Nornir chest that we'll have to figure out. Let's open this door. There's a bell right there. There's a bell there. We need to find the third one. Looks like there's one up there, but there's only one way to figure out if that's actually the case. Let's check this Twilight Stone. Oop, looks like it's lined up. There we go. How about that? So go back here. And yep, there it is. That's the third one right there. So since we just cleared this out, let's take a look to see if maybe that'll take us where we want to go. Enchanted rings. Much has changed. Kratos has grown. Yeah. Surprised that you want to do this stuff, Kratos. It's like a boomer asking about baud rates. Do you really understand? Alright, so let's try and get this chest open. That's one bell. Two, nope. Two bells, and hopefully this will do it. Yes, there we go. Open it up and see what we got. Alright, looks like another Horn of Bloodmead. 1 out of 3. So the first one that you get will automatically increase your rage meter. Second time around you need 2. Now we need 3. Look at this large open like arena. And sure enough, here comes the Dark Elves. Ooh, look at that. He's got a little trident. I don't know how I feel about this runic attack, this throw. Oof, that was a bad block, let alone parry. Ooh, look out. Oh, so don't get hit by that. When he puts it down, he tends to stay away from you and putting down little bombs and whatnot to keep you keep distance. So he's a slippery sucker. Oh, there we go. At least we parried, even if it wasn't a very good one. You do have a second or two to get out of the way of the... Oh, I thought I parried that. Apparently not. Yeah. Time to use the rage attacks. Man, that guy is slippery. He wants to get away from you. Keep distance. Oh, there we go. That was a good parry. Whack. Blue circle, yellow circle, red circle all mean different things, and you have to be aware of what's going on at all times so that you can... Ooh, that's not good. Getting low on health all of a sudden, and that guy is such a problem. Oh, he's... There we go. Take him down. Alright. So that was the big guy. And that took just about everything we had. We got some crafting materials. Get some health back, hopefully, from these guys. There we go. Shield bash and stun. There, look at that. Almost full health. And even the rage meter is, I would say halfway or maybe a little bit more. And don't forget to look up for materials, things that might be hanging from the ceiling that you may otherwise miss. Alright, so speaking of moral dilemmas, Atreus is swinging back around to his, how he wants to help the creature, but he doesn't want to hurt the Dark Elves at the same time. So, I mean, that's obviously an issue. If you help one person but hurt another person, are you really helping? And that is kind of the question that he's asking himself. So we have to figure out how to get to this, which means we have to get rid of all the hive matter here. Alright, so there's a exploding pot there. So that got rid of that. We got a Twilight Stone, but the angle is really bad. There we go, we got rid of more debris. So if nothing else, we can move along. Let's take a look one more time back there. This might be a decent angle. There we go, blue line. Swing, and it sounds like something happened, so we'll go check. There we go. All the hive gunk is gone. Get clear access to the red chest and whatever's in it. Resources, which of course will be good for upgrading. Alright, so moving on. Get closer to this animal. Oop. And look out for the swarmers, exploders. There we go. Now don't forget to turn that crystal in the back. I don't think you need it right now, but this angle is kind of tricky, I think. There's 2 Twilight Stones, and you've got at least 2 nodes to hit. There we go. So going across here, we see one chest, and that might be it. Alright, so going back across and see what's up. Oh, and this exploding pot, because that would prevent us from moving forward. Why does it feel like we always hurt the Dark Elves? Is there something you're not telling me? No. There we go. Good angle. Cleared up the hive. Move up here. Got a red chest. more materials, and like I said, we move this. That should, and yes, that did it. There's another red chest, but we've got nightmares to deal with. So let's deal with these guys. And there we go. Nope. One more? Nope. It's like, you always think that it's over, and it's not over until you see your XP come up. So here we go. No clear way to get up, it looks like, so might be further along. We'll have to see. Alright, some more nightmares. They might be exploders, yeah. So we'll have to take care of them. Oh, another one. Thought we were done. Nope. There's another one. It's a monster generator. We need to take care of that. Is it? Nope. There. Now we got it. Got to this, looks like a dead end, but there's a fissure going up that we can climb, so let's climb on up and see what's at the top. Moving ever closer to the creature that we heard that's causing the storm, so freeing the creature will ultimately help us. Ah, that must be it. It's a giant jellyfish. Half goofa. And it's trapped. Don't worry, lunch. The squiddy thing was dinner, so this one's lunch. Alright, so we'll need to get rid of this hive matter in order to free it, or at least get closer to freeing it. We'll see what happens. There's an exploding vase there. Jump across here. There we go. That looks like a good shot. I took care of those. I think there's one more set up top. And then I think we're good to go. Full strength shot. There. Alright. It's free, but it can't get out. So now we just need to go to the surface to complete the mission. This side quest, Secret of the Sands. You remember that red chest we couldn't get to before? I think this is it. So let's go ahead and see what's in there. So it burrowed, but then it got trapped. Okay. Things you didn't know to ask. The Dark Elves don't make the hive matter, they just use it. It's naturally occurring in Alfheim. So while I think most of us thought that the Dark Elves used it, that's not the case. You know, all these light elves are carrying around crystals. Why don't we pick one of them up so that we can have light bridges whenever we want? Or at least where there can be a light bridge. Alright, crash through there. Looks like there's some stuff strewn across the ground. Hack silver. There's a chest. Let's see what we got here. Crafting components. Resources. Never going to say no to that. And a third and final radiance piece. All right, and this is our way out. So we just need to find the spot that we were at previously that we couldn't get into. Now that we cleared everything else out, we should be able to finish taking care of that. All right, that looks like that's it. Once we get close enough, there's the icon. So let's take it out. I thought he was going to bring out the Blades of Chaos for this, but apparently ice greater than fire this time around. There we go, mission accomplished. Now don't forget all the other odds and ends that are going to be in this area. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to check us out on social media, and thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And we'll see you next time.
My mind off Ragnar, you know?
This was not a distraction.
No? Then why are we really out here?
Have you ever considered he just wants to spend time with you, lad? While he still can.
Really?
We do not know what lies ahead. But if Ragnarok approaches, I wish to enjoy the time we have left.
I don't know what to say. Thank you for bringing us out here. I'm glad we did this.
As am I.
Of a certain coven of heath witches who are keen on destabilizing the government.
Enough. We will continue later.
As I recall, I was about to relate the story of the heath witches who overthrew a government using only deceptive prophecies. They picked an influential Thane, an otherwise loyal man, and fed him a story of his own ascension to king. They dressed it up in enough details they knew would come to pass, so when they did, the Thane took it as confirmation. Next thing you know, he's helping matters along. He murders his king, sleeping under his own roof. Murders many he once called friends, too, thinking them fated to oppose him. Then, for a finishing touch, the witches revisit this usurper. With just a few details structured ever so misleadingly, they convinced the fool he was invulnerable to all threats.
Physical or magical.
Aye, but 'twas not so for him. All turned into a rather magnificent bloodbath as they go. The Thane ends up without his head and a name so cursed none dare speak it. All thanks to a subtly deceptive prophecy.
You've really got to write these stories down one day, Mimir.
Well, I try. Jaw tends to get sore. Thank you. sort of a harp. I can play beautifully, you know.
I do not, and would prefer it remain that way.
Mimir, you said souls come in 4 parts. Does that mean you can lose some of your soul, but not all of it?
Aye. Form, mind, direction, and luck. Lose any one of them, and the entire being suffers. Still, sometimes luck alone is enough. Just ask your father.
My success does not come from luck.
Ah, the refrain of the eternally lucky.
Well, I hope Tyr's had enough time to find its equilibrium, or whatever.
Indeed. I saw flashes of the old god of war in him, but they were fleeting.
There is nothing wrong with opposing war, nor opposing prophecy.
I suppose that's fair. Never can be quite sure what the Giants meant by any of it.
Am I the only one that remembers they predicted our entire journey to Jotunheim? If the Giants saw Tyr leading armies at Ragnarok, then I believe them.
The question is how you'll ever make Tyr believe it. So, this whole spectral squirrel business, you can shoot out your feelings into little ghosties.
I suppose that is a slightly inelegant way of putting it. These spectral versions of myself are aspects of my personality that I often find distracting at best. My ability not only lets me cast them away and provide some temporary peace of mind, it also allows me to see what goes on outside the tree.
Why not just go look yourself?
As the eternal caretaker of the tree, I may not leave its confines. All part of the deal, but worth it for the immortality and such. My spectral forms still allow me to see the outside world, albeit through slightly colorful viewpoints.
That's one word for it. That bitter form of yours is a nasty piece of work.
I'm standing right here, you no-lit freak.
I'd apologize for him, but where would it end?